Botswana's consumer inflation slowed to 7.5% year-on-year in April. That's from 8% in March. Month-on-month inflation quickened, though, to 1% from 0.5% in April. Joining us to unpack the numbers, Karabo Tladi, research analyst from Motswedi Securities. Karabo, those numbers have just come in. What are your views on the numbers? Where are they in line with what the market was expecting?
Yes, the numbers are in line with what the market is expecting. Because if you look at the general government spending, it's pretty low at the moment, as well as disposable income, despite pressure from food and oil prices.
So inflation is slowing to 7.5%. What are the projections from here on out? Are we expecting inflation to continue to come down, or are we expecting it to stabilize at around these levels? Because I know it's still, of course, above the target level.
Yes, from our point of view, we expect inflation to continue coming down, even though at a slower rate than before. Because obviously, because as I mentioned earlier, because of lower government spending, as well as below potential non-mining GDP.
On the mining side also, there are concerns, of course, around a slowdown for demand in commodities, a slowdown for demand in diamond exports. What are the thoughts on the type of impact that's going to have overall on GDP right now?
Yes, it's obviously going to have a bigger effect because our economy, as you might know, it's mostly driven by diamond demands. But it will probably be on for short to medium term.
Short to medium term concerns, but just looking at the latest export data that came through, I mean, of course, as you say, the economy really reliant on diamond exports. 78% of your export revenue, in fact, comes from diamonds. Diamond exports rising by some 13.4% in February. That was February, so of course we can't read too much into the number, but that is an encouraging sign. So how do you weigh that up against all the expectations that diamond sales are going to come down this year?
Yes, government, we expect, as you mentioned, we expect diamond sales to come down, and then obviously it's going to have a bigger effect on the economy in the long term. But if you look at the non-mining sector, we expect that to sort of like offset the decline in the mining sector.
Okay, so positives and negatives there when we're looking at the outlook for GDP growth. Let's turn to the equity market very quickly. Your views on the kind of trade that we saw around Turnstar. We know the stock rallied some 2.6%. It's sitting in a very positive position so far for the year. There's some acquisitions it's made. Tell us about the acquisition in Dar es Salaam and what that means for Turnstar.
They recently acquired a property in Dar es Salaam. It's a mall in Tanzania, and obviously that had a positive impact on the stock. We expect that to sort of like add to their rental income to contribute significantly to the country rent, to the stock's rental income, and obviously to the bottom line.
Okay, so positive, of course, and that's what the market is reading into. Of course, that yes. Stock has rallied this year up some 17%. Karabo, we'll leave it at that for today. Thank you for unpacking those numbers for us.